Knock knock. Twice. Twice he's outside freezing to death. Hey! Sorry about that, you guys. I could not resist the lure of the dumb joke. So, Knock Knock, this time for real, is easily one of my favorite Twice songs ever. It's been a permanent fixture on my top 5 Twice songs list since I made one, and yes, I'm the kind of person who makes those kind of lists. Although, in this instance, I had a plan slash excuse in that I just caught up with 4 years of Twice content in a pretty short time frame, and I thought making a list would be a good exercise to try and process through, digest all the stuff that I just binged. Um, a couple of caveats about my top 5 Twice songs list. First of all, I've never been able to get it down to anything fewer than 7, which at this point the group is just shy of having recorded 140 songs, so cutting that down to 7 is not too shabby. If I had been able to do that, which I haven't, because the other caveat is I actually have two top 5 Twice songs lists. I have the one I created after catching up to everything, and then after my first couple comebacks, I ended up starting another list. Um, it was dumb luck that I got into Twice when I did, but if you were trying to pick a dividing line between old Twice and new Twice, I think 2019 would be a very reasonable choice. Before 2019, they were, bright, cute, colorful, fun Twice, and after 2019, they're more mature Twice. So my lists are sort of organized along those lines. I have tried to combine or reconcile those lists, but unsuccessfully. Like, which is better, Heartshaker or Perfect World? I don't know. They're just different. Which is better, a puppy or a Lamborghini? And no, you can't take the Lamborghini and then sell it and use the money to buy many puppies. That's not the point. The point is that each of these things are excellent examples of the things that they are, but there's no real point in comparing or contrasting them. That's not helpful in any particular way. So that's the story behind my two lists. I'll put them up over here just for kicks. I wouldn't worry too much about the order on those particular lists. That could maybe change from day to day or depending on how I'm feeling, whatever. The contents of the first list are pretty much locked in at this point. The context of the second list are much more in flux as the group continues to release new material. We'll see how that goes. This is as good a point as any to drop today's producer news. Knock Knock is the first Twice title track by a producer named Collapse Done. We will be seeing a lot more of Mr. Collapse Done. I'll put a list up over here. This list is many of, but not all of, the tracks that Collapse Done has worked on for just Twice, ITZY, and Nitsu. He's also worked on a lot of other JYP artists and a whole lot of other artists. I'll leave a link to his website down below if you want to check it out. So when we got to the end of the feels and I saw his name in the credits, it's like, well, yeah, of course it's him. The other song of his I want to shout out real quick is Poppin' Shakin', which is so far my favorite Nichu track. They've got their first full album coming out shortly, so we'll see what else they come up with. So, having made a big deal about pre-2019 Twice and post-2019 Twice, you would think, on first glance, that Knock Knock fits squarely into the pre-2019 bright, cute, colorful Twice. And it sort of does, except I would argue that it takes a sharp left-hand emotional turn towards the end. So I was talking to some once friends of mine on a Discord, and I do not remember what exactly we were talking about at the time, but I suspect it was something emotional because I volunteered that though I love this song, it also tears me up a bit and leaves me in kind of a state by the end of it. And I wasn't sure why that would be exactly. Am I really that sad that a song I like is ending? Doesn't make a ton of sense. I can always start the song over or the video over again. So since I was talking about it at the time, I pulled out my phone, pulled up the track, and I listened through a couple of times trying to figure out what in the heck is actually going on here. And I think I have successfully identified the main culprit in this emotional roller coaster, as well as 3 of her accomplices or co-conspirators. So we can do the accomplices first. The chief co-conspirator is, of course, surprise, surprise, Bridge Mina. Her rampage continues unabated. And this time she's roped in Chewie and Taehyun. And it's the typical Bridge Mina MO. They come up real close with big, sad, open eyes And it's like it's a Disney woodland creature kind of deal. They come up and they're, oh, I'm cold and I'm alone, I'm hungry, please save me. And it's emotional manipulation, but that's okay because most of the time they're not trying to do anything nefarious. They just want us to lower our emotional barriers and walls and like them and like their song. And that's harmless enough. But this time it's a little bit different. This time, this is a Trojan horse to open us up for the emotional heist of the century, which follows. So, the emotional heist that these three bridge banditos are setting us up for is in the final pre chorus chorus. There's an added background vocal ad lib track that was not there the first two times. And it's maybe overstating it to call it keening or wailing, but it's not happy. It's not bright, cute, and colorful. Like, this person sounds kind of upset. So I think that's what I've been subconsciously reacting to all this time when hearing this song. So we're going to do a quick listening exercise. I'm going to play a tiny bit of the first pre-chorus just to get it in your ear. And then we're going to listen to some of the final pre-chorus chorus. And I'm going to leave the video off. Just focus in on the background vocal line and think you'll see what I'm talking about. Also, if you can identify the member, I'm not real sure. I'm leaning towards Jungyeon, but I'm not real sure. They have it filtered through like a tinny, oldie-timey bad speaker effect. But even with that, I've got most of the members locked down, but for whatever reason, I don't have a super firm grasp on Jungyeon and Chui. Whenever I'm identifying them, it's usually by process of elimination. So I guess I just have more homework to do there. So here's the first pre-chorus. Yeah, so we all know that part. Now, put your listening hats on. Here's the final pre-chorus chorus with the background sad vocals. So what's all that about? And we get to the end of the section, and then we have the line, I'm freaking out. So that doesn't belong in bright, colorful, cheerful either. So if you look at the lyrics, this song is not super different, at least in the beginning, from Cheer Up. It's like they're waiting for their love to come find them, and they're encouraging them to keep trying. You get the like, come knock on my door, you might have to come back tomorrow and the day after. So it's kind of, it's hopeful. It's optimistic and patiently waiting. But then we get to the end here, and we've got this addition in the third chorus, and I think that the tenor of the song has changed. And we go from like, oh, I'm looking forward to my love coming and finding me, I hope he makes it, blah, 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 to, is he coming? Is anybody coming? And maybe nobody's coming. And that puts me in the headspace of like age of sail coastal towns and widow walks and stormy seas and waiting for loved ones to come home who may not be coming home. And that's a lot, guys. That's not exactly where I expect a K-pop song to leave me. So that's where I'm at with Knock Knock. It's definitely got bright, cheerful, cute. I mean, we've got a pillow fight at a sleepover, for cripe's sakes. But aside from just the members freezing to death at the end, there's a lot more going on here that I know I didn't appreciate until I took the time to actually dig in and pay attention. I just sort of took it as face value as a Q Twice song. Except, again, subconsciously this whole time, I've been reacting to the subtext of the song towards the end. Yeah. So having gone through all that, we're finally going to get to these videos. We're watching, obviously, the music video. but then also what they call the dance practice. But I'm telling you, they're wearing one of the costume sets from the music video, and they're doing the choreo in a place that is not a JYP practice room in either of their buildings. If the members come over here and ask me nicely to change it in my title, I will call it a dance practice. But until then, it's a performance video. And I gotta say, you guys, I'm not 100% sure how well this is gonna go. I don't have the crybaby caution sign up front for nothing. I would say, other than member speeches, 16 eliminations and uneliminations, and just the members crying generally, a close second place as far as emotional trials go would be Knock Knock and Best Thing I Ever Did. But I guess we'll just cross our fingers and see how we get through this. So here's your window. Here's our video. And the stop motion thing up front is so much fun. It's fun watching them recreate it live too, especially Chewie turning. She does a great job. We'll see that in the performance video. Those three costume sets are all great. The standout for me is the red and white, black and white set. This one with the script print, and we'll see that in the performance video as well. These three shots of the members and these composite shots of the choreo, very fun. Oh, Sana, stop it. These pillow fight scenes, especially at the end, when we get Jungyeon protecting Chewie, and then Taehyun getting the snot kicked out of her. They're just great. This bit, so cute. Oh, Sulky Taehyun is sulky. And then Cabinet Chaeyoung. Like, who doesn't want a Cabinet Chaeyoung in their life? This falling through the mattress thing is very cool. That Chewie wink, it kind of cracks me up now that I've been following K-pop for a while. How many idols have like wink struggles? Like, I can understand not being an ambidextrous winker, but I don't know. It's just a funny thing that pops up every now and then. Speaking of popping up, best cameo ever. Their disappointed faces are just priceless. Now we get a musical interlude before the bridge and the heist. They're lulling us into a false sense of security, you guys. This part's great. Everybody gets their own exit. And of course, Jungyeon with the like, what up? Wrong way, Sana. Alright, buckle up. Okay, not too bad. I escaped that mostly unscathed. I wasn't sure. I was curious if now, like, being aware of their manipulative shenanigans, whether that would give me a defense against them, or if being aware of them, I would be paying more attention to them and would make things that much messier. I think probably either or neither. I think it probably just depends on, you know, how I'm doing whatever day I'm watching it. Okay. So here is, as I have said, the performance video. The little stutter. And look at her turn. She does a great job with that turn. Of course, iconic choreo. As if any Twice choreo is not iconic. And I think this is not only a great costume set overall, but like I can't see any member who gets like particularly left behind. I know there's a thing in the fandom where people are suspicious that Junghyun gets kind of short shrift on some of these, but she looks great. Like that's amazing girl crush and still cute. I would say maybe those cutouts in between the skirt and top, or the cover and top on Chaeyoung are a little weird, but it's pretty nitpicky. Otherwise, everybody just looks great. The bridge is a lot easier to take when it's choreo rather than crashes in. Freaking out chicken dance. JYP, you gotta stop it with your boxes. They're in the way. Okay, so we made it through both of those without any super deep emotional scarring. At least for the moment. So yeah, thanks for sticking with me through this. If you did, feel free to leave below in the comments your guess as to who the emotional heist meister is. I'm really leaning towards Jonghyun, but I could be way off. So let me know either way. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.